not only because of the number of cars we want to sell, but also from a product point of view. The 1985 Century stands at the crossroads of Buick products. It's the heart of the Buick lineup, offering a great variety of models. The Century is the car you can sell to Skylark owners and prospects who are ready to move up to a bigger car. It's also the car you can present with confidence to the import-oriented buyer who has eyes for a fine European sedan but can't make the payments. Another Century prospect is the traditional mid-size buyer, plus the traditional buyer who may no longer need a full-size car but wants to stay with a Buick. Still other prospects are interested in very contemporary station wagons with front-wheel drive, the Century Custom and Estate wagons. And finally, for particular mid-size buyers, there are the T-Type coupe and sedan, 9 widely distinct Century models that give you your greatest strength right where you need it, in mid-size upscale cars. One final note, all the features mentioned in the Century walk-around are standard unless otherwise specified. To present the 1985 Century walk-around, here's Adrian Collier of Dale Buick in Littleton, Colorado, the Buick salesperson who won the 1984 presentation of the Century contest. As you'll see, Adrian's enthusiasm has not decreased one bit. And this year, he'll show you how he uses a demonstration drive to sell cars.
Hello, and welcome to Dale Buick in Littleton. My name's Adrian Collier, and I'd like to thank you and the family for stopping by. Tell me, what questions can I answer for you today? Oh, you'd like to see what Buick has to offer in a mid-size luxury car? Well, that's great, because it gives me the opportunity to tell you about something that I have a tremendous amount of pride in, a car that's both stylish and technologically advanced. Take a good look at the competition, and I think you'll agree that what you're about to see is truly a remarkable car. As a matter of fact, all of the cars we have compete in nearly all segments of the marketplace. I really have products to be proud of. Over here is the car I'd like to show you. This is the 1985 Buick Century Custom Sedan. Economy, luxury, and style, all in one package. Let's walk around this Century, and I'll show you what I mean. Notice first how clean the lines of the all-new grille flow nicely into the integrated body-colored bumpers and sloped hood. These lines go back up over the flush-mounted windshield, across the straight roofline, and on back down to the squared-off rear deck treatment. I'm sure you'll agree that it's a beautiful and contemporary look. But the best part of all is that this styling is functional. The engineers at Buick would call this shape aerodynamically slippery. What that means to you is that it only takes 12 horsepower to move your Century down the highway at 55 miles an hour. And that contributes to Century's impressive fuel economy. My wife and the children and myself took a trip recently to see my mother-in-law in Omaha. We took my Century. That's right, I do own one. It was my prize for the presentation of the Century contest last year. Anyway, about that trip. It's about 550 miles, and I got excellent gas mileage. And when my wife drives around town, she's right on the money for the city mileage. A lot of it's up to you, but I think you'll do quite well. I'll show you some other features that add to fuel efficiency. Now take a close look at the quality of the paint. Robotic painting techniques have been developed for consistent quality paint application. First, we use primer over the entire automobile, and then plastisol is applied in the critical areas, above the primer and under the paint. This reduces rock and chip damage and helps fight corrosion, and then it's painted. And the result is what you see. Now that's what I call attention to detail. Of course, some of Century's best features are under the hood. Century features an inside hood release for 2 reasons: to act as a theft deterrent and easy access to the engine compartment. Look how easy it is to open the hood. That's because the springs and counterbalances that could be on the hood of your trade-in are not on this car. Instead, a gas strut is used. That, coupled with lightweight metals, makes lifting the hood a one-hand operation. Let's look under the hood. Century's front-wheel drive. It's probably its most important selling feature. Front-wheel drive is efficient because power doesn't have to travel along a differential or drive shaft. It goes directly to the wheels that do the work. Because a differential or drive shaft isn't needed, there's a dramatic reduction in the weight. That means additional fuel savings. With front-wheel drive, the engine is transversely mounted. It's turned sideways like this. That means the hood and engine compartment are shortened. Yet the passenger compartment and trunk remain roomy. Now comes the real benefit of all that weight reduction. Since Century's now so much lighter, smaller engines can be used and still get the kind of pulling power Century's always had. Here are the choices. A 2.5-liter electronic fuel-injected 4-cylinder engine that offers remarkable economy together with outstanding performance. An optional 4.3-liter diesel that offers even greater fuel economy for drivers who put on a lot of miles. Or the optional 3-liter V6. Also available is the engine in this car, a 3.8-liter multiport fuel-injected engine. By the way, this engine is standard on the T-Type. You'll get great power, performance, and economy with any choice. There are some good ideas with the way the engines are put in with you in mind. First, a Freedom battery is used, so you won't have to worry about maintenance for its lifetime. Then, visible fluid bottles are used for the coolant recovery system, windshield washer, even the master brake fluid, and the oil and transmission dipsticks are easily accessible. This is truly an engine compartment that makes maintenance easy. Now that this great power plant is under the hood, ways were found to keep it quiet. It's insulated well. There's thick under-hood insulation, cut pile carpeting in the passenger compartment, extra dead spaces in the doors. Even the carpeting in the trunk all contributes to a quiet and peaceful ride. Did you ever drive downtown and stop for a traffic light on a warm summer day? You've got the windows rolled down, and sure enough, the road repair crew is operating 3 jackhammers. It's so noisy, it sounds like they're all inside the car with you. Well, just roll up those windows and put the optional air conditioner on, because this Century is so well insulated, it will help keep outside noises out. When you're traveling around, you'll need to use that trunk of yours. Well, it's enormous. There's 16.2 cubic feet of trunk space and a flat floor, and that means you can carry just about anything you need. When we took that trip to Omaha, we brought enough clothes for about a week. Let's see, we had 2 suitcases, a 2-suiter, a makeup case, numerous toys and gifts, including a small bicycle, a box of diapers, and all our coats. About the only things we had to put in the passenger compartment were some cassette tapes, a map, and a box of cookies. And all that luggage in the trunk was protected by the trunk trim carpeting. The compact spare tire is stored in its own compartment under the flat floor of the trunk. It's lightweight, so it adds to Century's efficiency, and it's easy to change. Of course, some of Century's best features are in the passenger compartment. You can carry 6 adults with comfort. I could fit all 6'2" of me in the back seat and have headroom and knee room. Watch. As for the fabric we're sitting on, it's a luxurious and durable cloth that will stand up well. Now let's take a look at what's up front. Notice this seat? It's a 55-45 notchback. Optional in this custom, and it's really great. Because of the way the dashboard is recessed on the right, your passengers will have plenty of knee room. And all the items that the driver and passenger need to share, the air conditioner, radio, and ashtray, are accessible to both. Now for the driver's side. The first thing you'll notice when you sit behind the wheel is how good the visibility is. The pillars don't obstruct your vision. You can see in all directions for maneuvering through a tight parking lot, parallel parking, or passing on the highway. The instrumentation is easy to see, and the toggle switches for the headlights, map light, and optional rear defogger are neat features. The bright and low beam switch for the headlights is on the turn signal indicator, along with the windshield wipers and washers, and optional cruise control. Now that's what I call a smart switch. Funny, that's what Buick calls it too. What do you say we go outside and take a Century just like this for a ride? Starting your Century's a breeze because of the electronic ignition. Here, let's turn up the optional Delco stereo just a bit and head on into traffic. The first thing you notice about Century is how fast it accelerates. We're already at 35 miles an hour, and we haven't gone very far. The steering is rack and pinion, and that means remarkable responsiveness. The braking system is disc in the front and drum in the rear, and that means you'll have smooth stops. Let me show you something else that's incredible. Watch how tight the Century turns. I don't know about you, but I like that kind of maneuverability. Incredible, isn't it? Well, I've had my fun, and in a minute or two, you're going to have yours. But before you sit in the driver's seat, I'd like to tell you a little about the safety features that are built into Century. Of course, the obvious features are manual lap and shoulder belts for the driver and right front passenger, and manual lap belts for the center front passenger and in the rear. But in addition, add to that an energy-absorbing steering column, energy-absorbing instrument panel, and energy-absorbing front seat back headrests. Such things as laminated safety windshield glass and a pressure lock radiator cap are included. Side marker lights and reflectors, dual master brake cylinder system, four-way hazard warning flashers, and much more. I think you'll agree that that's an impressive list of safety features. Well, this is it, the 1985 Century Custom Sedan. Luxury, technology, style, all in all, a classy package. And the best news of all is it's still a Buick. Now it's your turn to drive. Hop in behind the driver's seat and let me show you how these controls work. Before we go over the important product changes on the 1985 Century, I'd like to re-emphasize a couple of points. First, demonstrate, demonstrate, demonstrate. I sell my cars from the minute I shake my customer's hand until he decides to buy the car. I know a lot of salespeople treat the walk-around and the demo drive as two separate steps. For me, they're one and the same. I use the demo drive to create desire to buy. Second, don't forget to mention the super economy and performance of the standard 2.5-liter engine and the super efficient optional 4.3-liter diesel.